So this is the learning portal of Salesforce, and you get every learning possibility and the best learning portal of Salesforce here. This is official learning portal of Salesforce, trailhead.salesforce.com. You see, and here I think we already have a Bong Bong trail mix. This is called Bong Bong Administrator Trail. I will again share this link to you.
Yeah, I have already shared, Arimesh.
Shared it on great, fantastic. So this is the trailing material wherein which you have to do on your own. Okay. So please go through this, and whatever structures is there, this will prepare you for the admin course as well as later in the admin certification. Okay. There are 3 steps. The first module is related to, or the course. First course would be related to beginner. Then there would be an intermediate course, and then there is an advanced course, right? So as we are learning in our classes, the classes will not teach you how to do things. Please remember that. How to do things in Salesforce will be taught here. If you are facing any trouble, you can always ask in the class, and we are happy to show you. But this is self-study material, and you can small assignments and course material. You should do everything on your own, right? And every course you complete or every module you complete, you get an immediate badge. So we can monitor what study materials you have completed, and this will show you here in this badge how many batches you have collected, what points you have collected. Everything will show up here. Okay, so we can track what is the progress of you. You see, like I can see the progress of mine, right? I have completed 59% and so on. So go ahead and finish it, and we will periodically check where you are so far these badges are concerned, right? So this is point number 1. This is self-study material. If you're facing any trouble, let us know, and we can help you on any modules or any chapters, which is not easy. But this prerequisite is very important, that you study this ahead than our class. In that case, you will be best utilizing the time which we are spending on our classes, right? Which is happening in the end of the week on this Saturday. On the Sunday morning. In the class, what do we discuss then? In the class, we will discuss why, right? So how part is already given here, and this is self-study. You understand drag and drop features. It is very easy to think, like study on your own. You can practice on your own. Nothing here is that needs my time to be spent. So what I will spend my time on, preferably, would be to teach you why to use those tools, right? And when to use those tools, because the same thing can be done in different ways in Salesforce. These tools are there, but when to use what tools and why to use that tools is exactly what we will cover in the class. Okay, that will not be part of any study material which you will ever find, and that is where our training actually imparts you that knowledge. That why you using that tool, when are you using that tool, but the how part again has to be you practicing at your home. And please stay ahead than our class, otherwise you have to go back, practice again, then see this video once again, then only you will make sense out of the class. Okay, so I would suggest you to be ahead in the learning game. Okay, so more faster you can complete this. It should not take much time. The total course material should take something around 24 hours. So 1 week is enough to complete this, right? At any given point of time. So you can be fast, but we typically give 3 weeks time for you to finish and anything, right? But our course will continue for around 12 weeks, right? So as fast and for you can complete these 3 courses, it will be beneficial for you. This you can, the last one you can leave for now, but it is great if you can complete it, but you can leave it for now. But these 3, of course, we would like you to finish up. Any questions so far? Good. When you are doing these courses, just like if you are going into any of the courses, you will see there would be requirements wherein they will ask you to create a playground. What is a playground? Playground is basically a Salesforce instance of yours wherein you can do your development, testing, and everything. Yeah. And these playgrounds are called hands-on playgrounds. This you can create on your own also. But here in the hands-on orgs, whenever you create playgrounds, all will show up here. All these are different Salesforce instances which I have created for different purpose, right? So let me create a new batch. So I will disconnect this one, and I can also go and create the playground. Here you can create the playground on your own. You can say that I will go to the hands-on orgs. Here, create playground. I will say this is called batch 30. So this is the Salesforce instance which Salesforce is creating for you. This is where you practice, right? You can create 10 of these kinds. So 10 playgrounds you can create on your own. Those are all you can practice on. Okay. So enough practice material. But please remember which one you are creating for what purpose. Otherwise, you'll be lost in no time. Okay. It takes a little bit of time to create a playground. But we'll create a playground and we'll launch Salesforce and we'll see how Salesforce looks like, right? We want to see. So it has been created. So here is a launch button. If you do a launch button, the Salesforce opens. Yeah. There is a notification. You can hit allow or block, whatever. I would suggest to allow Salesforce. This is a playground environment. There is a good video. You can get seeing this one. Three things they have mentioned on this video. I hope you were able to hear it. That the spellings are very critical when you're doing your assignments. Otherwise, it will show that it is not complete. Okay. So very important that you copy paste the spellings exactly like it is given in the instructions and do not miss any requirements. Otherwise, the badges will not be complete. Okay. So this is just a practice match. If you do not understand, don't worry about it, because the reason what the understanding part we will do in our class. So it is not relevant that you if you are not able to understand on the course, but still you must practice and see this hands on and do it on your own. Okay. Once you do it on your own, it is far more easier than to understand what we are teaching on the class. Yeah. So don't worry if you're not getting it in the trailhead at all. Okay. And do not go and start learning any other trailheads. It's the ocean here. You will be completely lost. So only stick to the trailhead bong bong trail mix. Do not go anywhere else. Okay, please. Okay. So let's introduce Salesforce. This is the Salesforce org. Anybody who is logging in will be brought into Salesforce org. And this is the app launcher. App launcher means there are different kind of applications that can be created on Salesforce, right? Just like in your mobile phones, you have different apps. Similarly, Salesforce also has different apps. Okay. The app which is now currently selected is showing up here, Playground Starter. That is the app which you have. What this app does, it gives you a login credentials. Till now, you logged in where? From here, like launch. But in Salesforce, usually you log in using a user ID and password. How to get that? So you get to this one. You see, this is the login. You need to store it somewhere. You can say that I will keep it in my notepad. And I will reset my password. When you reset your password, what happens is that it sends a mail to your email ID, which you have used to log into Salesforce, right? Or log into your Trailhead. Sorry. So if you go, and I already have my personal ID wherein this things has come. So you will see that here is the finished resetting password. So I will probably go reset my password, and I will put any password which I like. It should follow these 3 rules. You can save this in your browser also. Yeah. So what happens is that next time onwards, you don't have to come to Trailhead and launch it from here. You can still launch it. The benefit is that now you can straight away launch Salesforce using login.salesforce.com. Here you already have the login. This one, we just created this, right? And the password which you created right now. And there you are. You are inside Salesforce. The only thing which I see is that this time I'm logged into something else, right? When I was launching from Trailhead, I was in a separate window. This is I'm opening in separate window. This window, let us compare these two. I will go back to Trailhead, and I will launch it from here. The same. You see, it shows me the Playground Starter as the app. But if I do a login and password, it shows me setup, right? What is the difference? Basically, if you go here and hit this button and do a setup, it actually opens the same window. Okay. So when you are using user ID password, since you are a user system administrator, it will take you directly to your setup. When you are login, it is basically taking you to Salesforce. So today we will not discuss setup, because the whole 11 weeks we will engage in setup learning. So because you are here to make changes to Salesforce, right? You are not the user of Salesforce, but the changes you are doing into Salesforce is for the people who are going to use Salesforce, right? For their day-to-day business. So your job is to make their life easier, their requirements, understand their requirements. So first, you have to understand how a common user is going to use Salesforce, right? That is very critical for you to understand. Then only you can go and change Salesforce according to their needs. So there are different apps you can see. There are sales, service, and everything. So you can see that I shift now to sales app, and see there are different kinds of things are there. You can open this, close this. So these are different kinds of apps. You see, what are the apps? Apps is a group of tabs. Here, these are called tabs, right? If you go to lead, this is the tab. If you go to account, this is another tab. You go to contact, another tab, right? So everything is a different tab, right? And a group of tab is called app. So you can select any of these tabs and you can create your own app. Okay, we'll show you that later. But there are already given some apps are already there. So one of the app is sales, and I am right now on the sales app, and I can see a lot of tabs here. Right? What are these tabs? These tabs are basically giving you the opportunity to create data in a table. Okay, and whenever you create a tab on any table, automatically Salesforce gives you the ability to do creation of record, deletion of record, editing of records automatically. So tab is very powerful tool through which you can enter data into a table, okay, or work on that table as a whole, right? So all these are typically tables. Opportunity is a table, lead is a table, task is a table, account is a table, files is a different kind of table, contact is a table. These are all different tables. How do we see these tables? Let's see the account table. So there are different filters through which you can see the table. If you do all accounts, these are 13 accounts which are there in this table. Okay, it's quite similar to how you will see a table in Excel sheet, right? No difference. So if you go to Excel sheet, I hope everybody has worked with Excel, right? So here the tab is down below, right? We can say this is account. This is called, this is another table called contact, right? No difference. Here the tab is downstairs. Here you can build your own table. You can say name, phone, email, right? In contact, you will have first name, last name, email, right? So these are different tables in which you can store data. In account table, we generally store the details of a company. So I will say like TCS, phone number 033 something, and hello@tcs.com, right? This is one of the values, right? In contact, I will probably keep an employee of that of TCS, right? Maybe on image manager is the employee. Sorry, Banerjee is the last name, and email is animesh@tcs.com, right? Here in this table, we'll also keep an association, right? So in the account, probably I will also mention this account is TCS. Similarly, let us create another account called what is that? Capgemini. Some other number, right? Here is support@capgemini.com, right? Here in contact, probably Shobhanjit works in Capgemini. How do I keep his details? Shobhanjit post, Shobhan at capgemini.com. Account is Capgemini, right? So this is how a account table and contact table will be stored in your Excel sheet. How do I store that in Salesforce? Quite similar, no difference. Here, let us
Sir,
create.
I have a question, sir.
Yes, go ahead.
Sir, if every tab is a different table, then what is cells? Group of tables only.
What is
What is cells? Means app. It is group of tables only.
group of tables? That's correct. Group of tabs.
Okay.
Tabs
Okay.
may or may not be only for tables. We'll discuss that later. But right now, let us think that tabs is basically showing you the total view of a table.
Okay.
Okay, na? So here I am seeing this kind of tabular view of this account table, right? Same. Let us create a record in this table. So TCS, right? TCS we just created. So I will say TCS. The mandatory fields are here in the red star, right? Rest fields you can. What are these fields? Fields are actually columns here. Okay. In Salesforce world, the tables are called objects. Okay. Please remember this. From now on, we'll not use the term table. Table is actually called object in Salesforce CRM. Okay. The column headers of a table are called fields. Okay. And the rows of your table will be called record. Many questions? I will not use these terms from now on because that is more handy for your Excel sheet. So what is a table? Table is this total table. Column header means name, phone, email, anything in this yellow section. This is the header, right? So this header will be called different fields. So this is the account object. Name is a field, phone is a field, email is a field. This is a record. This total thing is a record. Okay. One of the these are each values of that field. When you enter the values of each field, that becomes a whole record. Row is called a record. So there are two records in this table. In Salesforce, how many records are we seeing here? We are already seeing 13 records. I now add two more rows or two more records. So let's create TCS. You see, the red star is not there in anything else. Right? Maybe let us put some phone number. We discuss those. I will copy this phone number. Save it here. I have already created. This is the record detailed view. Okay. I am inside the record now. I can go back to the table view once again. If I go back here, this is a recently viewed item because this record was just got created. So I can hit this. I can come back to this record in details. Okay. I can go back, hit all accounts. Now I can see TCS is already in the list. So there are 14 items now. Right. I can pin this so that it does not change again and again. So now I will create another view called Capgemini. And some other number. Another record got created. If I go back to the account, I have to hit here. Okay. If you are hitting here, you can create new account. So please remember these two things are different. If you're clicking here, is different. If you're clicking here, it's different. Okay. You see recent records are showing up here. If you are on here, there's a faster way of going it. You can go and select which is the list you are using also. Okay. So you see, this is the list view. And now we have 15 items, 2 items got created, TCS and Capgemini. Right? Similarly, I can create new records in contact. I just shift it to list view. It looks exactly the same, right? I can say all contacts. You see so many contacts are there. Let us create 2 contacts now. One, I will create Animesh Banerjee. Here, account needs to be linked, right? You see, TCS is coming already in the list. I can type also. If I don't find that TCS, you see, automatically comes in. So now Animesh Banerjee. So let's go back how it was working. So if I go to the contact, I will put first name, last name, email, and account, right? So I already put the first name, last name. I will put the email here. This is not a mandatory field, right? You see only red star in last name. Even account is not mandatory, right? So I click save. You see here account name is clickable. It is very important for you to look it closely. Okay, I will click on this and see what happens on the tab. If I click this, it jumps into the account tab and opens the TCS record. Okay, so these clickable items from which you can jump from one tab to another tab. Okay, and we'll see what are those clickable. Here also it is showing a clickable items. If I click this, you see it also jumps into the contact tab because you are actually want to see that contact in more details. So this is the detail page. Here is the detail section wherein you can see all fields. One value, okay? But if you want to see all contacts in this table, this is the view. Now here you are not seeing all fields, right? What if you want to see other field values? You have to go here, select field to display, and you can select the field which you want to display. Here, I want to remove this one. I will take it out. If I have to bring this up, I can. If I want to add other fields like last name, the value changes. Okay, you can create your own view also. Like I can create my known list view, my contact view. I can only see this list view. Now, since Salesforce org is generally shared with other people, many people will work together with you, right? On this org. If you want this list view to be usable for others, then you can also share this to other people. And if you want to select to only a few people, then this option. Okay, we'll discuss that later. So I want to create a list view which I want to share to other people so that others people can also use. Owner is my contact. So anything wherein I am the owner, this is my list. So this is how I can do that. I can add filter also here. I can say that anything which is equal to active, only show that. Save this. So now it again gets filtered out. So you can create your own filters. You can show whichever fields you want to show all through this list view filter. Please play around with this. Whatever you are not able to understand, we will discuss in class. Okay, very important for you to play around. And there is nothing to break here, nothing you can break here. Keep clicking here and there, everything, right? Whatever, at least whatever we are showing in the class right now. That is very critical for you to play around. So what we saw is that in account, I can create new records. In contact, I can create new records. And these records are connected to each other. What is happening in account? So if I see, these are some tables which are already there because I did not create this table, right? Whenever logged in, I already saw these tables were there. What are these tables? Or what are these objects? We will not use the term table, right? So there are two types of objects in Salesforce. One is called standard object. And that is called custom object. Standard objects are the objects which is already there. You don't have to create these tables or you do not have to create these objects. So you cannot create these standard objects. It is already there, created for you. Salesforce has given these objects automatically to you. No need to create. You cannot delete these objects. Okay. What is custom object? Custom object is the object which you create on your own. These objects don't exist. So needs to be created. Any new table you want to create is a custom object. And this can be deleted because you created it. So you can delete it if you don't need it, right? So standard objects are, some of the examples are, we already worked on account, contact. These are standard objects, which you are seeing in the screen, right? These cannot be created. These are already there. And these cannot be deleted because these are standard objects. Custom objects will show how a custom object can be created right now. And you can delete this custom object if you want. Okay. Similarly, fields are also two types: standard fields and custom fields. What are fields? Column headers, right? Inside a table. So standard objects. So standard fields are again the fields which you cannot create, you cannot delete. Custom fields are fields which you will create on your own, and you can delete those fields. Okay. Please remember, standard objects has standard fields. You can also create custom fields in standard objects. Similarly, whenever you create a new custom object, Salesforce automatically will create some standard fields for you. And of course, you are creating a custom object, so most of the fields will be created by you. So the custom fields will also be created. So do not confuse this. A standard object can have standard fields. A standard object will have standard fields, and you can also add new fields to it. That will be called custom fields. A custom object, automatically Salesforce will also create some standard fields in custom object. Okay. And on top of that, you can create your own fields. That would be custom fields. Okay. Let me know when it is going over the top so that I can discuss once again. So far, so good?
Yes.
So here, let us now look at this. So this is a standard object. Account is a standard object. Contact is a standard object. Task is a standard object. Lead is a standard object. Opportunity is a standard object. Campaign is a standard object. The report and dashboard are not objects. They are different things. Chatter is not an object. So we'll discuss this later. But most of these are standard objects. So what if I want to create my own object? Can I do that? Of course you can do it. So for that, you have to go to setup. Okay. Now let us go to setup. Whenever you go to setup, that is a settings window of your mobile phone, something of that sort. If you want to do anything or make any changes into Salesforce, you will go to setup, right? That is how it is. So here, this home tab is a enormous amount of feature and functionality opens up for you. But before that, I see the object manager. Object manager is basically, it shows you all the tables of the application, right? So you see everything is written as standard object. You see. Oh, so many standard objects. Salesforce is giving so much tables by default, right? Keep on scrolling, it will keep on coming. See how many tables are there already. It's not possible for you to learn about everything, right? So don't worry about it. So we will learn only a few at a later date. Right now, we only let us look at the most critical object of Salesforce, that is called account. So you see account, if I go to account, this is what you can do on the table. So this is just the description of the table. So the API name, that means what is used in your programming or automation, that name. Your object manager name or your naming of your object or tab may not be equal to the API name. Okay, you can keep it separate. Like some people would they don't understand accounts, so they will say, please rename this to companies, because actually you're storing company details here, right? So they will probably tell you that don't give me an account tab, please give me a company. Show me, tell this as company. So this will be your job to do. Okay. So this is the name of the table, but the name of the table and the API name of the table might be different because probably you will rename the label, but the API name cannot be changed. It will remain same. Okay. Fields and relationship. These are basically the columns of the table. The fields, as we said, right? So there's so many standard fields already there, right? How do we differentiate between a standard object and a custom object? First, let's see that. Do we have any custom object? No, we do not have a custom object. Let us create a custom object. Here I have the custom object. Here I will say application is my custom object. Applications is a plural form. The object name is application. This is the API name which I will use, right? And that is all. Save. You see, here it is called underscore C. If you see this kind of API name, then it is a custom object. If you go to the application, you see it is showing as custom object. And the API name, you will see underscore C. So any object, you see the name did not change. Name was application, but API name was underscore C. If your API name is underscore C, then that is a custom object that is created by you or anybody. This is not a standard table, okay? And it will also show this as custom. Now, if I created application right now, right? In account, I saw so many standard fields already there, right? But here I can see underscore C. That means there are some custom fields also that has been created. These are custom fields, new fields, or some things which you have created, right? Company will have a GST number. Let's create a field. So probably this is a text kind of field. We'll discuss this in more details later. But GST number is missing. So 255 is the maximum limit. Let us use this. And I can make this field required. I can make this field unique. So what is external ID? We'll discuss in details. Don't worry about it. So let us show this to all people. These are all different kinds of people. What are you? You are system administrator. Okay. These are other kind of people who are also logging into this system. And you want to add this to the screen? Yes, I want to add this to the screen. Save. Now you will see GST number is now a custom field, GST underscore C that has been added. So if you now go back to account, it takes a while, but if you see new, you'll probably see GST number here. It will take some time to refresh the cache. Okay, we'll come back and we'll see this later. It will show up here, okay, after some time. So we have created a new field in the account table, okay? That is how these objects are created. But what about this application object? This is also something which I created. Here, if you go to fields and relationship, you will see already there are some fields which is created. These are standard fields. So whenever you create a new object, that means a custom object, Salesforce automatically will create some fields for you. This is the input field, name field, which is the most critical and mandatory field which Salesforce will create for you. The rest of these fields are not input fields. These are audit fields or system defined fields. Okay, you cannot put any values here. The name field also, you can make it automatic. How? You can go here, do an edit, and you can change this to auto number. Okay, if you make this a auto number, then you don't even have to input it. Let's see this one by one. I have not changed anything. So first and foremost, I have created a new table, application table. How do I put value inside it, right? In that table, you should have a tab, right? Called application. Nothing is there. So just creating an object is not good enough. You have to create a tab. Give me one second. So here, just the creating that new table is not good enough. New object is not good enough. You have to create a tab also. What is a tab? Tab allows you to now do 4 kinds of operations on a table. What operations? Any object can have 4 operations. We call this CRED. Create. Please remember this term, create. Create is create, read, edit, delete. Some people also call it CRAD. In edit, we say it is update. That is the only difference. So, create or CRAD. Okay. Nowadays, people call it create. So there are 4 operations possible on a table, right? So when I am on this table, I am seeing these values, right? This is a read operation. Now, if I want to add a new value like cognizant, some other number, sales at cognizant.com. This is a create operation. I create a new row or new record. Okay. Now I want to update Cap Gemini because the spelling was wrong. I will go here and I will make this correction. Cap. Right. What is this operation? This is an update operation or edit operation. So read I have seen, create I have seen. Then we have also seen update operation. Now we can also delete this. You can right click and do a delete. So this is a delete operation. The 4 operations possible in a table, right? 4 things you can do on a table with data. So the same things, all these operations you can do when you have a custom object tabs. So now let us see application object is there. It does not have a table. You have to give a tab style. Choose anything and hit next. And default on for everybody. Keep it that. Include. Now it is saying that it's a new tab. Do you want me to add this in the existing apps? And you are saying that okay, add it to any existing app, right? So in the sales app, it was the app which we were using, right? So I'm adding it to my sales app. When I do that and I go back to the sales app, right? This is I'm in the sales app. You can see in the more button, these things will come. Application has come. So now you can also go from here. You can also search here. You'll see application is showing up here as a separate tab. Same tab will open up. Here I go to all and pin this. There is no data in this table, right? I can go ahead and test 1 is my first application. I don't have any other column to fill. You see, rest of the values are filled up automatically by Salesforce. There is a owner field created by and modified by. These are standard fields created by Salesforce. I don't have to put any input there. Only application name. Even this application name I can also automate. I can go back in this application name, edit this, and I can make this an auto number. It will ask for a format. I will say use this format APP-0000, and I will start from 1. What does that mean? That means from next time, if I am in an application, you see, I am putting nothing. Did I save? Sorry. Yeah, I saved. So here now, if I now hit a input button, still not showing up. Take some time. You see, app 0001. So Salesforce is basically automatically putting in these values. So if I now create now second application, basically this will go away in no time. Test 3. Now it will keep on upgrading. App hyphen 0002 2 3 4 5 6 like this. It will keep on updating the number in this format, the format which we have here. Okay. And soon this will be taken out by Salesforce. The cache, it will take some time to remove the cache. Salesforce will take out this. Even it will not ask you to enter the application. Clear? Now you can have other kinds of fields also. Let us see the different kind of fields which we can have in Salesforce. Auto number is what we right now discussed. We showed this is the auto number field. Same. It works in a sequence. Okay, in a specific format. It will automatically create a sequence for you. Then we have formula fields. We'll discuss this in more details. These are relationship fields, lookup and master detail. What is a relationship field? Things which you can click, like in account. Sorry, not account. In contacts, we created Shobhanjit Ghosh, right? What contact did we create? On image page. Yes, this is the contact I created. This account name is there, and I click on this, right? I can click on this. If it is a clickable thing, most probably it is a lookup or a master detail relationship. This kind of field. Okay. Checkbox. Very easy. Checkbox means you can check, mark it true or false, right? Play with these fields, add this on your application. Let us add one. Active. Active is a good checkbox, right? By default, I can make it checked. Similarly, so I have now created a checkbox field. Let us create some other fields. Currency field is that which wherein you have some amount, right? Which is related to currency, either a dollar figure or a INR figure, something of that sort. The default currency of the organization is very critical before you use this field. We'll discuss this. So where can we find the default currency? You can go to the company information, and you can see what is the default currency for this. So yes, INR is the default currency, right? Currency local. So no problem at all. If I go back to now and create a currency field, I can easily create it. Let's go back to application, create a new field called currency. This will always show INR. So I will say application fee. You can have a decimal point also. Total decimal has to be 18. So if you are making it 2 decimal places, you will make it 18 minus 2 decimal places, something like this. Okay. Total must be 18 characters. So this is now the decimal places, and I hit next. I can save and new, go to another, play around with this. This is date field. This will open up a calendar control for you. So you can say application date. Application date makes no sense. I will say interview. Okay, you can create other fields. Date time means it will also have a time factor along with the date. Okay, time is only just time field, wherein you just give the time of the date. Email will be email field. Geolocation is actually latitude and longitude, which you can use to show the location in a Google map. Number field is a decimal or normal plain number field. Percentage values, phone numbers. Pick list is interesting. Pick list is basically a set of values from which you can choose from. So you can say that I can use a global pick list value. That means I can derive from a global pick list, or I can enter my own values. So let us enter my own values. So I can say this ISP, something of that sort, or I can say net line. So I can say Airtel or Geo. Two options I have given to myself. I can create some more fields. So pick list, multi-select. Pick list, and difference between pick list and pick list multi-select is pick list is one you can choose. Multi-select is you can choose more than one. So play around with this. Create some text fields, very easy. Create some text area fields. Text and text area difference is that you can break a line in text area. That means you can use your enter key. You can break the line into a separate line. In text, you cannot break the line. These are even longer text areas. This is rich. This means you can bold, italize, put some text images inside your text. Encrypted is basically you cannot see that, it will show up as masked. And URL is normal URL. Right. So these are the fields. Please play around with this. We'll discuss these three later in the next class in more details. But what you can see is that you can go ahead. And now if you go and do a application, I hope this has changed. Still not. It will take some time to reflect here. Maybe I will log back once again. No, it's still not showing. It will take some time to show up in this your page. So all these fields will come up in this new application page. We'll wait for a while and we'll see this happen. Yeah, go ahead. Any questions so far? So these are all some, you see, underscore and C are all the fields which we created. And different kinds of fields we created. Right? And we'll just now see this on the page. Give me 1 second. Sometimes it takes a lot of time. So we'll see this very soon, pretty soon. Anyway, yeah, tell me, any questions so far? It will take some while and then it will show up in the screen. Are you feeling confident to explore Salesforce so far, whatever you have seen? So create your org, explore around Salesforce, create your new tables, add new fields in your existing tables, and try to explore, right? For doing all these changes to Salesforce, you have to go to setup. And the normal people will use Salesforce through the tabs. Okay, so you will test Salesforce using the tabs, but you will make changes through setup. Okay, but we'll see more details. First, you explore what is Salesforce, what are the different kind of tabs are there, how are we entering data, but particularly the 4 operations. How do I create, edit, modify? Let us see how we modify a record. So this is the application record, right? If I want to modify this record, I can go to edit. You see, the rest of the fields are now coming up. So I will say 100 is the application fee. I will put my interview date here. My net line is Airtel and Jio, and is an active application. So now I save. So what will happen? All this data will now be updated with the existing record. So create operation we have seen. Update operation is from using this edit button. Okay. Read operation you are already seeing here. This is, if you click anything, this one, or you're seeing data in totality, that is also read operation. And finally, there is a delete operation, which you can also do from here. Delete. You can do an edit from here also. You see, test application is now blocked. You are not able to change this. So I can edit this from here. I can delete it also here, right? I can also delete anything from here also. Okay. What is the clone button? Clone is basically a copy of your existing values. You can copy this and create a new replica. And if you do save, it will create a third application automatically. So in application, you see the operations are there already. What are these other buttons? We'll come to that later. But here I want to see the other field values. Can I do that? Yes, sure. I can go to the settings. I can say, show me it is application active or not. When was this created by and created date. And I also want to see the net line. Anything else? Interview date. Save it. So now this table is showing me the other field values. Yeah. So you can play around with this list. You can also say that I want to filter it. So you can go and add filters. Okay. You can save these filters also. Whenever you add any filter, active equal to true, and I want to save this. So all items, now only the active applications will show. Right. I want to remove this, save it. Now all the applications will show. So these filters help you to make a shorter list of your records. Find out. It is quite similar to how we use this in Salesforce, in Excel sheet. So in Excel sheet also you can put a filter. And if there was an active filter, you can put that. You can select values here. Same thing is happening here with these filters, right? You can sort this in ascending order or descending order. See, this arrow, ascending sort, descending sort. You can do that. You can like organize these values. Application fee comes up, so you can move this here. Can table view, you can split this to Kanban view or anything else. It's a little advanced topic. We'll discuss this in details. But let us stick to table view. You can refresh the screen. You can edit this list, right? And then you can have a pie chart. Anyway, we'll discuss all this in the later term. You can also have a printable view of this whole list. So we saw how we are using a new tab. We saw how we have the existing tabs which you can use. These are the existing tabs. So these are standard fields, standard objects, and this is a custom object. Yeah, so far so good. You start your trailhead, and in the next class, we'll dive deep. Yeah, I think today as an introduction session, I think we have covered enough. If you are facing any trouble, any problem, please put it on the WhatsApp group. Immediately, there will be some attention given there. There are dedicated mentors for this group who can work with you anytime based on their availabilities. I myself will also be available to work with you. So basically, the idea is to keep you practicing, and you may choose to go and read more. So don't worry to study more if you are able to understand. If you don't understand, don't worry. We'll cover everything in the class. Okay, so that is all we had for today's class. I think we'll keep it short today. But for you, please start engaging, start exploring Salesforce, play around with the Salesforce playground, and let me know after one week you're finding it easy. You're able to understand a little. There are many things you will not understand, so that is why we have this class. So don't worry about it. But please play around. You cannot break Salesforce. So go ahead and hit and press a button everywhere on your playground. Okay. Nice weekend. Have a nice weekend. This will be uploaded this video will be uploaded very soon on our YouTube channel, and I will share the link. And you can even go back and hear it, the portions which probably you want to revise. Okay.